What is up, everybody? It is pretty early in the morning, trying to get on a first light bite. Just dug up some fresh sand fleas, gonna throw them on some jigs and see if we can get into some fish, so stay tuned. So I dug up, I don't know, 35, 40 sand fleas in a matter of minutes. Gonna throw them out there on a bottom sweeper jig. This morning is like crystal clear, calm, but praying for a little bit of wind, man, because these gnats, I can't pedal quick enough to get away from them. All right, let's try right here. Ooh. Come on. There's a fish. Little guy. Oh, broke me off. Alright, let's try that again. Try not to lose the fish. There should be more down here. Wasn't a big guy that we lost, so ain't too heartbroken. This was like a typical sized striper for this time of year. Ooh. Something picked it up and dropped it. Come on. There we go. Hopefully we don't drop this guy. Just trying to get him away from the structure. There he is. There we go. Tell you what, that guy gave up the best possible fight for a fish that size. That is not a big fish by any means. There he goes. Alright, let's try this again. Seems like if you get it in a certain area, you almost get an instant hit. But if you're just north or south of it, you're missing these fish. I guess that's fishing in general. If you're not on them, you're not on them. But when you're in them, you're in them. What I've noticed is if I don't find them right away, like right there, there we go. You just drop a little bit further down. That's a nice one. I can only tell just because the size of the weight. Usually, let's get him out into open water. gain a few yards and then you lose them all back. There. And what's crazy is that's not even that big of a striper. They're just super amped up this time of year. Whew. Let's get him back in water. Beautiful summer bass. So far we've been pretty efficient with the sand fleas. I might have only needed a few dozen. Usually I can't say that when the Tautog are around, man, because you could just fly through bait. Especially like the small, I don't know, 6 to 8 inch Tautog. They could just put a wear and tear on your bait if you just let them. Well, let's see if we can't get a 4th striper. At least the last few have gone up in size compared to the first one. That's all you could ask. You know, we're not monster hunting. You know, fishing back bays, you know that you're kind of relinquished to a certain size bass. Oh, there's a hit. But at least on lake tackle, these fish are just as much fun as you could really handle. Like the only other fish that really gives you that type of run is like a sheep's head inshore. There he is. Let's get him out of here. Little guy. And I just net these guys out of the safety of handling them rather than trying to lift them up by the weight of their head, and also it puts less pressure on my tackle. And the hits for these are real interesting. Most of the time the line will go slack, like they're swimming up with it. Like that right there, that felt like a striper hit. Sometimes they'll mouth it and then they'll come and grab it. That just felt like a striper hit. I don't know if you can see this, there's a ton of bait at the top of this pole, so that's always a good sign. Usually where there's bait, there's predators. Oh, there it is. There it is. It was a weird hit. Oh, lost it. Son of a gun. See, now all I'm doing is just hooking the sand flea through the shell, kind of like dead center, and trimming the end off. That gets the scent in the water, which definitely helps. Whoa, look at that size spider. Stay away from those bridge spiders. They do not look too happy. Look at that thing, man. One bite from that, you won't see me again. But let's try not to whiff this time. That last one was a whiff and a half, but now I kind of understand what depth they're at now. They're a little bit lower on this piling than they were the other one. That last one picked it up and tried to swim with it because I could feel it going backwards. Definitely more uncomfortable fishing on this side for whatever reason. I'm also kind of concerned. It's like a 1 foot gap between where I'm fishing that you have to try and horse that fish. If it runs away from me, that's going to be an interesting fight. It's like some of them things you got to think about so that you're not losing a ton of tackle. Let's try that again. It's funny, as soon as I moved up in size, it definitely helped keep that bait more stationary in the strike zone where we just had that last hit. There it is. There. Oh, he dropped it. Got it. Nope, he came back. I think I got him this time. I was about to say, if I missed that one, that'd have been pretty bad on my part. See, and that's what I don't want him to do. I can feel him run towards that structure. Oh, no. I can feel it in there. They're smart fish, man. They will run into that structure. And I'll tell you what, I couldn't imagine. I used to fish in like a sitting kayak that you paddled. This type of fishing would be absolutely atrocious from a non-pedal drive kayak if you don't have that access. You know what I mean? Like the hands-free access to pull fish off the structure. Then you're kind of at the will of the fish. It's like the old man in the sea. Oh, he did not like that. There we go. Now, the last time I came out here to do this type of fishing, I actually lost a jig. Well, I lost a fish into the pilings, and about 10 minutes later caught it, which was kind of crazy to think because he had my jig in its mouth. I'll put the link for that video right here. Let's see if we'll come back. Drop it a little bit further down. There it is. There it is. Just had to entice him. And what's interesting, so I've tried this fishing with soft plastics, and for whatever reason, it's not as effective as using crabs. And my only thought process is they are feeding actively on these crabs, on these pilings. So that's why I don't think the soft plastics is the move. Because if I could catch these fish with them that way right now, I would gladly switch over, because I really don't like fishing live or natural bait unless I really have to. Like sheep's head fishing, tog fishing, something that absolutely requires it. Damn, that's a nicer one. That's actually not a bad one. It's weird, he didn't give me the best fight. One of the smaller ones that I caught, he's actually not that big. I was gonna say that one of the smaller ones I actually caught was the best fight I got out of all of them. Ugh. Definitely the heaviest, but lengthwise I would say he's probably same as those other cookie cutters, maybe slightly larger, not by much. 1/4 inch maybe. They're all like the same class fish. There he goes. Tautog. Has to be. Yep. That might be my sign that it's time to go.